Hey guys, welcome to the night show. Wow, it's been a while since I've done the night show. But now I've got to talk about something serious here. Here. Now there are there are always problems with like marital problems and that end up in love triangles that literally just end with somebody killed. And as you probably all know, if I mentioned, I'm a hardcore fan of of mysteries. And I mean reality ones, not CSI or stuff like that. But trust me, a lot of this proves it. Like there are some that really just want the man, and they truly, and they'll do anything to get the other obstacle out of the way. Okay, I recently just saw this Deadly Affairs episode where this so this one guy, he's a cop. Alright, so he starts, having an affair with his dispatcher from work. But here's the thing though, he had no intention of leaving his other mares behind. He didn't. He just needed some for a little while, but how does this turn out? And trust me, he tried numerous times to break it off, but guess what? It's tough to turn the affair off when you've turned someone on. Trust me, this lady is a total devil. I mean, every time he tried to break it off, he would threaten that he would show his wife what's been going on. And all of these scenes are reconstruction, just so you know. And it's all explained. They show some real photos, but that's about it. And now this really, alright, so one time he comes home late and he finally just confesses, and, alright, so his wife leaves him, but a short time later he comes back on 3 conditions. He get an STD test, go see a counselor, and finally break it off with her. See? That's great. Absolutely. That's great. That's great. That's just what he wanted. But before this, there was even worse stuff that had happened. He got her pregnant. Not on purpose. But you can tell he was freaking out on this. Okay, so back on this point. When he finally breaks it off with her in the reconstruction, she is acting like a spoiled child. And literally, I don't know if she did that in real life. It could be a possibility. But here's the thing. She's upset all about this. And she literally wants him for herself. So what does she do? She dresses up in this black disguise with a mask and literally just finds the guy's wife as she's going home for the night from work, and she basically says, "Get down on the ground." "Get down on the ground. You're the one I want. You ruined my life," and she freaking executes her. Seriously, you needed to let that go. You need to let that go. You can't just eliminate someone like that and think that's okay. If he had no intention of staying with her in the first place, they should have just done that. She should have just accepted it. But here's the thing, though. She made it totally, by her behavior, she made it totally obvious that it was her. And guess what? Everyone was correct. Everyone was correct. And then she ended up leaving a child behind Alright, and she's going to prison for the rest of her life. And that's just what I have to say about that. The thing is, why are all married men attracted to other women? It really doesn't make sense, because it'll either end up in a huge argument, or just a divorce, which that would be great, but yet that's still going to cause other problems. This is one of the reasons why there are so many single parents, and a lot of kids grow up in a single parent household, as I do right now. But now, and here's the thing though, why try doing a love triangle? They hardly ever work. And it's really just not. It's not worth even trying. So I suggest, man, I just could not stand her, the way she acted. It was total poop. And that's not even the worst part. There's another worse part. And yet there was another worse episode. Okay, so this married couple, alright, they opened this old comic book store. And for those of you who have seen this show and seen this particular episode, you know what I'm talking about. They were already starting to have marital problems because in the store, he started flirting with female customers, making it totally obvious he was not interested in staying with his wife. Not interested. Alright, but then they hire this one lady. Now this could possibly be the biggest mistake of... This has got to be one of the biggest mistakes I've ever seen a person made. I mean, you know he's doing stuff. How is he going to react to this? Absolutely. Absolutely. She's more attractive than the other one. And you know how this always turns out. So here's the thing. Like, he finally gets into her, and she is literally heck, and you know what he's going to try first. He literally just walks in and asks for a divorce. But his wife is like, apparently there's something with Christianity. She said she was like a Christian or something, didn't believe in divorce. But you could have, trust me, if I were her, I would have just divorced him long before this mistake. And guess what? On his birthday, she ends up dead. By who? Obviously, didn't really see the whole thing, but I can probably guess. He did it for wanted the other woman. She wouldn't divorce him. You see? Why do people even try this? It barely ever works. And it really doesn't help. It really doesn't help that this... What am I trying to say? The thing is that there are other things that are wrong with this one. Like, there are people, and on second subject, there are people that literally can get away with murder, and that's what makes me upset. George Zimmerman, as you know from watching The Advice Show and hearing all over the news, he was arrested once again recently for some similar charges. He cannot keep himself under control. He's pretty much gotten away with murder. And just, you know, Phil Advise? If that's your last name. Guys, when he gets locked up for life, I'll be right there partying with you. can tell that this stuff is serious on what people do these days. There's stuff that I literally just cannot believe is there. What do y'all think about this? This is gone from bad to worse to just completely out of control. Literally. There's one thing you guys need to know. Take my advice and stick with it. In other words, there are people who almost get away with murder or get away with anything. Again, what do y'all think about this? This is why society is really getting bad right now. So anyway, I'll see you next time. Good night, everyone.